Hey Steelers fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to our Pittsburgh Steelers news and review video here on a Thursday. The weekend is fast approaching. You be part of our weekend mailbag. Right now is your chance to go ahead and ask a question. So go down below, must be a subscriber. Use the hashtag Steelers in the comments section. Ask any sort of Steeler-related question. And one of the guys here at Chat Sports, myself or somebody else, will be doing a mailbag video. What do you think? Most likely Saturday or Sunday here in the channel. So go ahead and get your questions in now on this video for a chance to go ahead and be featured. Let's jump in the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news and rumors again here on a Thursday. And we begin with Najee Harris. And Najee Harris, obviously one of the brighter stars right now on a very young offense. I mean, let's just be real here. They have a ton of young players from quarterback all the way through the offensive line, running back especially, with Harris in the wide receiver position as well. And there's a very interesting Bleacher Report article talking about 9 big, bold predictions for the 2022 NFL season. And one of them is that Najee Harris is going to win the rushing title, which is, I don't think, too far-fetched, not that bold of a prediction, because there are some other good running backs that could easily win that title, hence why they put it in the bold category. But again, it wasn't that bold. But, of course, Harris has emerged, or did emerge in his rookie year as the bell cow back. He's the best running back by far on this roster and is expected to receive a ton of touches. And so, the more touches, more of a run-first team, maybe a run-first offense with the young quarterbacks, whether it's Trubisky or Kenny Pickett, it could be a very, very big year 2 for Najee Harris. Now, being the rushing title winner, you had to beat out Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry. You have to be the best back in the National Football League. If you guys think that Harris can be the best back in the NFL, either this year or next, give this video a thumbs up, because I think a lot of us are excited and pumped about Harris in Pittsburgh. The question really is, how high is the ceiling? And rushing title would be pretty high. If you guys are excited about that, think he can be really good, give the video a thumbs up. Okay, here was Bleacher Report on Najee Harris. We'll throw it up on your screen right now. Quote, last year, Harris led the league in touches, 381, but he averaged just 3.9 yards per carry. With upgrades in the interior of the offensive line and probability that the Steelers may want to aid Trubisky or Pickett with the run game, Harris can win the rushing title over Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry, who both lost a couple of starting offensive linemen this offseason. Now, that all sounds great, and I think there's a very real chance. I'm not going to poo-poo it. You know, sometimes these articles are a little bizarre. I'm fine with that. However, you have to maintain a healthy workload for Najee Harris. You've got to make sure you don't overuse him, because we see what happens with young running backs where they just get pounded their first couple of years, 350 plus touches, and then by year 3, year 4, you know, there's no more gas left in the tank. Like, the legs are dead, they can't move too well. And so I'm all for Najee Harris trying to be the rushing title champ and, you know, try to be the number 1 running back in the National Football League, but Pittsburgh must not try to wear him out. Don't put too many packs in the back of the horse. Make sure you can let him go for many, many years to come, because, yeah, I know running backs are devalued right now in the National Football League, but I think Harris can be very, very special for hopefully many years to come, and you wouldn't want injuries or just too much wear in the body to potentially prohibit that. And so I'm pumped. I'm excited to see what he can do, but just keep it very, very healthy. Maintain him. Make sure he's good to go, not just for many years to come, but for the end of the season when hopefully you're making a chance and a push for the playoffs, whether wild card or beyond. Okay, add rate, pin comment down below. Over under 1,200 yards for Harris in 2022. It'd be a big number, right? You probably got to be over that to be the rushing champ. Over under 1,200 rushing yards for Harris in 2022. Type O down below for over, and type U down below for under. All right, our next story comes via courtesy of the Steel Curtain and the improvement of the run defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. One of their greatest weaknesses last year was the fact they couldn't stop the run. They're like bottom 3 in the league or bottom 5 in the league, according just to the stats in terms of rushing defense. And teams were able to gash them so heavily they'd have to load the box, and they could throw against these cornerbacks who were a little bit lackluster back in 2022. And the Steel Curtain has a great write-up talking about how this defensive line must improve. I agree with them, and I think that is a chance to improve. We'll throw this up on your screen. Quote, most would say the Steelers' depth is better in 2022, at least on paper. But whether they get the job done won't be decided until week 1. The Steelers travel to Paul Brown Stadium to play the Cincinnati Bengals. Until then, the defensive line competition might be one of the most highly contested battles in training camp, set to kick off on July 26th at St. Vincent College in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. If the Steelers can improve their run defense, which it can't get statistically worse than 32nd out of 32 teams, it would impact every facet of the defense. The secondary would be able to do their primary job of coverage, and the pass rush would also benefit. And this article also mentioned how Minkah Fitzpatrick was the leading tackler in the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is never a good thing when your safety is your leading tackler. It should not be the case, because that means, you know, to get to the second level where Minkah sits, you got to kind of get the ball to where he is. And so run defense, again, very, very bad. The Tuitt retiring Definitely a factor in this one, although I don't think it's as big of a blow as some people in Pittsburgh are saying. It's not like the guy has really been that consistent in the past, and obviously retiring was, I think, the right move for himself, his own personal decision, so we respect him on that. But these young guys, what does Leal have in terms of the interior? Can they really find somebody to step up and help out on this defensive line so it's not just Cam Hayward and not just TJ Watt? That really is going to be the question. Now, for plenty of more coverage on this, and obviously the big battle at training camp, as they mentioned, is going to be the defensive line and quarterback, by the way, which we will cover here in the channel as well. Make sure you guys are subscribed for coverage all year long. We're going to be doing stuff not just during the offseason, but once training camp starts, when the fun begins, right? We're just days away, really weeks away from training camp starting, and once training camp gets going, it's going to be a ton of fun here in the channels. Make sure you guys go down below and subscribe to our Steelers channel as we try to give you guys the best content here at Chat Sports. Now, one guy to keep an eye on is Larry Ogunjobi, obviously just recently brought over with a chance to, I think, be an improvement there. Obviously, the health, the stamina, how long can he give you in terms of games, in terms of snaps, that will be a big-time question mark. But either way, whether it's Ogunjobi, whether it's Leal, whether it's somebody else stepping up, this run defense must improve, because I think a lot of people want the Steelers to be a wild card team. It'd be hard to win the division with Cincinnati, I think improving dramatically in terms of roster of a Super Bowl run last year this offseason. But if you want to be a wild card team, you got to win 9 or 10 games. If you want to win 9 or 10 games, you can't be gashed by all the good rushing teams in the National Football League. And you get to the playoffs, you play Jonathan Taylor, you play Derrick Henry in the first round, the Browns, heaven forbid, with their running back duo. You could get seriously, pummeled defensively. And so we all expect the Steelers run defense to be a lot better than where it was. But if it's anywhere close to what you see on your screen right now, with 32nd out of 32 teams, it is going to be a problem. Like you can't even be 29th. Like the Jets were 29th. It just can't happen. You got to be inside the top 20 in terms of run defense. Less yardage is better, and hopefully the Steelers are able to do that here in 2022. I think they will be, but again, you got to improve somehow over where you were at, which was 32nd. Okay, final story here quickly. Bleacher Report again. They've named 3 overhyped Steelers. Steelers who are overhyped this offseason and could be doomed for a very underwhelming season in 2022. And so let's take a look at that and see what we think about it. The first of which is Alex Highsmith, the Steelers linebacker. And basically the article talked about how, the expectations are high. He might not live up to it. And there are a lot of other Steelers now at the linebacker position, meaning the sacks and, the tackles might be, a little bit less because other guys are playing. You cite Miles Jack, you cite Devin Bush being there as well. And so I get this. And the question is, how high are your hopes for Alex Highsmith this year? Like, are you thinking he's going to be a Pro Bowl linebacker? Like, as long as you don't think he's going to be like the best linebacker in the National Football League, as long as he improves on what he did last year, albeit an impressive campaign, I think you have nothing to worry about from a Steeler perspective, and I think that it will go ahead and be just fine. But the first, in terms of Bleacher Report on guys who might be a little bit overhyped in the Steelers going into 2022. We'll get to a cornerback next year in just 1 second. First, there is a crazy deal on a pair of Steeler t-shirts right now that are, 40% off? Yeah, it's 40% off. Whenever you go to chatsports.com/pit combo, P-I-T combo. You pick up the 2 t-shirts on your screen. And again, 40% off. That's almost 50% off. Like, that's a ton of money that you are saving right now on fresh Pittsburgh Steelers gear. Comes in all the sizes. Last time I checked earlier this morning, the sizes were all there. They will go quickly, though. Link will be down below in the description box and also, of course, on your screen right now. But rep the Steelers with these 2-pack t-shirt combo for 40% off. You go to chatsports.com/PIT combo. Okay, the next player on the overhyped list from Bleacher Report is Levi Wallace, obviously brought over from Buffalo, probably one of the starting cornerbacks on this depth chart on one side with, whether Kayla, or not Kayla, the other guys that could be there, whether it's Sutton or potentially a Ahkello Witherspoon. But Wallace is a guy that they say, dropped a little bit in terms of PFF coverage grade last season, wasn't necessarily an interception machine, and so the overhypeness comes from the fact that you sign him in free agency, and so it's like, oh, we got a new cornerback, like this is going to be fine. But they basically said pump the brakes a little bit. He might not start, although I think they will. And so I'm excited for Wallace, and I think Ahkello Witherspoon's growth is going to help out with his play as well. Okay, final players here, and I agree with this one the most. The backup running backs just kind of piled all in there to make one final point. As you look at the Steeler backup running backs, you're mainly focusing on Snell and McFarland. And I know there are undrafted free agents, but rare those guys actually turn out to be anything special in terms of their rookie season. But after Najee Harris, we talked about at the top of this video, who's going to step up? Like, who's going to be the guy that if Harris has a bad game, if Harris has a minor injury, heaven forbid, has a major injury, who's going to play? Is it Snell and McFarland? We talked about how McFarland might not even make the roster by the end of training camp, and so they're really one big injury away from having nobody at running back. So this is a very interesting, I think, group to keep an eye on. I don't think they were that overhyped, which is why I'm a little hesitant to add them here, but it's what Bleacher Report said, and so obviously we talk about it, but they've got to get some production from guys not named Najee Harris because, as we talked about, you got to make sure you balance out Najee Harris's play and carries. That way you don't overload the body early on in the year. All right, we'll end on this. Name a player who is overhyped to start training camp. Is there somebody overhyped? Maybe Mitch Trubisky. A lot of people think he's a little bit overhyped, but who is overhyped to start training camp? Give me that pick down below right now. And of course, you're going to be on a part of our mailbag video happening later on this week. Go to the comment section, use the hashtag Steelers, be a subscriber for a chance to be a part of a mailbag video, and that will, I think it'll be filmed either Saturday or Sunday. Either way, one of us here at Chat Sports will cover that. Okay, for our Pittsburgh Steelers news and review video, I'm Thomas Mott signing off for the rest of your day.